Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. In today's video, we are back in Unreal Engine 4 continuing the FPS tutorial series. Now I'm more likely just going to make on and off videos for this. If I find a feature that we, kind of should implement, then I will be doing that. And I found a feature that we definitely should implement if you want to properly make an FPS that is efficient and works smoothly. Today's video is going to be on line tracing projectiles, which is the system that most games use, as it is not a frame by frame dependent collision system. It is literally just a line, and that if it hits something it dies. It's what most games do. As you can see, we have a collision based system which only works on and off. Now I set up a bullet hole kind of thing where you shoot things, and it would show a decal of a bullet, and it was very inefficient. A lot of the time it wouldn't show up, and that was because it was purely down to the collision of the projectile. Now you'll see in the future when I do the bullet hole decal tutorial that once we've had the line trace installed, then it will be working just fine. So the first thing you want to do is go over to your weapons folder, AR4, and we're just going to go into the AR4 base. Now in here we have actually the spawn actor, which is not what we want. We don't want that anymore, so most likely we're just gonna delete that. So now off of this, we're gonna type in line trace by channel. It's very important that you do by channel. Now it helps to have a starting point, which is actually required, but it's also nice to have a visual starting point. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna an arrow here, and we're just going to position that so it's facing the way that our projectiles are supposed to go. I'm just going to rescale this real quick, and then I'm just going to attach it up here, and then attach this to the muzzle into our socket, and just rotate it like so. You don't have to have an arrow, you can just have like something, but I like to have this because it's a visual representation of where the projectiles are going to go. So I'm going to go back over to our event graph, drag this out here, and we're going to get world location. I'm going to get that, and we're going to plug that into the start. Now for the end, we're going to make this so we can kind of manipulate the range of the projectile, and to do that we're going to have to obviously get a forward vector, off arrow, get world rotation. I think off of this we get world, we're going to get forward vector, and off of this forward vector we are going to have a multiply by a float, and we're just going to plug it in like that. I'm going to set this up real quick here to maybe something like 1500. Now what we're going to want to do over here is our return value. We're going to add a branch because it has a boolean return value, so we're just going to plug that back in there, and we're just going to drag this out real quick and break hit result. Very important that you do that. We'll just leave it there for now. We'll compile, save, play, and as you can see, oh whoops, this is very important. You're going to make sure you click on this enumeration here and go to persistent. You need to have it so it shows. And now we have it just like so. It's not exactly perfect, but there is a line trace showing now. Alright, so to very quickly fix that problem we had, all you've got to do is add a vector addition. So just to redo that again, I'm just going to drag off of this. I'm going to hit plus on my keyboard. You're looking for vector plus vector. I'm going to drag this straight in here and hook that into end. I'm going to compile, save, and as you can see now it's going straight wherever we look. All we need to do really is just increase the range here. This is the range. You can make that a variable. I'm not really going to because I could just change it, but there we go. As you can see, it's going pretty far. Now to actually make this, collide with the cyborg, we're going to go over to our cyborg over here. I'm going to go to our mesh here, and we're just going to hit block all, and also simulation generates hit event. So now when we compile, save, we will be able to hit him, and as you can see the lines are green when it goes through, basically meaning it was a successful hit. So to make this actually do damage, we're going to have to fiddle around with this thing here. This is the thing that I said the break hit result. This is what I said to drag out and break so that we can use it for later. And it's very important that you do this. Otherwise, you won't be able to get the actor that it's colliding with. And to do that, we're going to use the hit actor. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit equals, equal object. Now we can just, do any kind of actor that we want. This doesn't really work. I think it does. I haven't really tested that out. You should just get an actor of class, but we'll try it. So we'll do branch here. And if that is true, then we're going to get an actor of class. And the reason why I do an actor of class instead of casting is that it isn't as CPU intensive, which is what we need for optimization purposes. So we're just going to go to the site. We're going to type in cyborg here. And we're just going to set health, because I'm pretty sure that's a variable. And we're going to make it so we're just going to set the health to 0. Just like so. We're going to print, we're going to save. And just quickly, for debugging purposes, we're going to add a print string here. It's going to say hello if it doesn't hit this. So we know for sure it works. There we go. Hello, hello, hello. And then if we hit the actor here, every time we hit him, that seems to be a bit of an issue. I wonder why. So it's probably most likely because we're actually just like choosing it here instead of getting the actor of class. So I'm just going to move around the nodes here. Make sure you do the same. Just going to plug everything back in just like so. I'm going to quickly put the return value into that. So we're just going to hit save and then there we go. He is hit and he is down. Now, you're probably wondering, well, it's great. It works for us. Will it work for him? And it will. We just need to set that up. So instead of going to the AR4 base, which is not what the cyborg uses, we're going to go back over to our enemy cyborg over here in blueprints, enemy character, and cyborg. So we're going to want to go over to the fire function we made earlier and basically just do exactly the same as what we did before, but for the AR4 base. So we're just going to delete this spawn actor because we don't need it. Instead, we're going to do a line trace by channel. Not multi-trace, just the line trace. It's very important that you do that as well. Otherwise, you'll get some, like a multi-trace, which is really not what you need. We're going to add the branch here. And also just going to, we don't need to split it like that. We'll just break it here. Now we're going to do the exact same thing as we did before. We've got the fire attachment here instead of the, whatever we used. I'm just going to add an arrow again, because it's nice and simple. There we go. We'll just downscale that to 0.5. There we go. Lovely. We can see where we're shooting from here. So we're going to go back to the fire function. We're going to get fire attachment. We're going to get world location. Put that into start. Get world rotation. Get forward vector. We're going to add a multiply, make sure it's by float. And we're also just going to add a addition vector node here. And we're just going to plug that in there. I'm going to plug that into end. Now we're going to set this again to maybe like 3000. There we go. That's brilliant. And then over here, hit actor. I'm going to have another equals. And we're going to have another get actor of class. Drag that down. We're going to get the SWAT character. So we're going to be asking it, have we hit the SWAT character? I'm going to add a branch, just like so. And if it's true, we're going to set health, just like so. And we'll just, we'll be generous. We'll do a little subtraction thing here. And we're going to get health. And we're just going to subtract, for a moment, 20 health. And we're going to print a string for debugging purposes, development only, as it says. And we're going to call this hit. I'm going to say hit. And here, we're going to print another string if it doesn't hit. And we're just going to say miss. Just like so. Compile and save. And there we go. So if he'll start shooting us. He says miss. It's just miss, 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 miss. Now, as you can see, he's pretty much shooting us like as we stand before him, and that's because we haven't switched our collision to blocked all. We're going to need to do that in order for that to work. So we're going to simulation generates hit events. Instead of character mesh, I'm just going to block all, compile, save. Hopefully he won't fall through the floor. No, he won't. And now every time he shoots us, there we go, hit, 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 and he'll eventually kill us. Because there we go. Now we can remove these two here. And I would suggest, until you're completely done with editing and like fine-tuning the projectile-based system, just leave this on to persistent, and also leave this on to persistent, because as you can see, when he sees us, he fires, and you can see like where it hits and where it doesn't. If you want to do something like hitboxes, and you don't want to actually set those up, if you want to like kind of make it a bit more streamlined, you can use the hit bone name here. So if if the hit bone name equals, I don't know, like head or something, you do certain amount of damage. If they hit the leg, you do another amount of damage. This is useful if you're trying to design things like CSGO, take the AWP. If you hit someone in the chest or the head, it one-shots them, or if you hit them in the leg or you leg them, then it does like 70 damage. It's good for things like that. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy, don't forget to slap that like button, share the video with friends that might also have this problem or are just interested in game development. You never know, it might get them interested. And don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.